Hey Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for February 1st through the 7th. So I'm going to start with a little bit of astrology, go into career, then go into relationship. I'm going to timestamp in the description box below like I always do. This is probably not going to be as long a video as I normally do. I am back to work now and this message has started. So I'm just trying to find a new balance this week. So that's that. Let's talk about what's going on. We have three things really only that I feel like are worth mentioning. First of all, February 1st and 19th, we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, and this is going to be happening in your 10th house. A lot of action going on in your 10th house. We've been talking about this, right? That's where the party's happening. So Mercury retrograde in the 10th house, what does that mean? Well, keeping in mind that the 10th house is career, public reputation, standing in the world. It can have to do with not only your career, but it can also have to do with a lot of the marriage energy is also in the 10th house, right? Because it does represent the institution of marriage, what you're publicly known as, right? So there could be some challenges. I'm going to say, like, it doesn't stop, right? Mercury retrograde does not go backwards. It doesn't stop. It just slows down. It just slows down, right? And it's all about Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini, which is about communication, but Mercury also rules Virgo, which is the 6th house of health, of problem solving as well, right? So in your day-to-day work environment. So to have this energy happening in your 10th house, right? And Mercury retrograde in there, which really does rule your everyday work environment and communication. If you put that triangle together, my recommendation here for you guys, Taurus, this first week is slow down when it comes to anything that has to do with your career. Slow down when it comes to having to sign any sort of paperwork. If you're in a situation where you're getting divorced, or if you are making any sort of big legal decisions. I'm not saying not to do it. Just make sure you read the fine print. Think before you speak. Leave extra time for everything. This is a great energy to re-examine things, right? Re-examine yourself in this area, your path, old projects. How you're feeling about everything now compared to the way things were. It's a great energy to do all of that in, right? So we have Mercury retrograde in the 10th. Now, also in the 10th, we have the Sun, right, is going to be squaring Mars, which is going to be in your first house, right? Because Mars is in you guys right now, in your first house of self. So when we have a square, it just simply means tension. So there can be some sort of aggression that has to do with something in that 10th house area. So we have Mercury retrograde in there where the communication, the problem solving is going to be challenged. And it can actually bring some focused tension into that area. Now at the same time, we have Saturn conjunct Venus in that 10th house. So, again, also any sort of long-standing issue within marriage will need to get addressed. Long-standing issue within career, all right? Anything having to do with partnership, any sort of partnership, right? But what's kind of good here is this can bring a very profitable relationship with somebody who's older, somebody who's more seasoned in something, somebody who has more experience. So if you're in a work situation and you meet somebody who's got a lot more experience or who's a lot older, who's been doing it a lot longer, right? Remember, Saturn rules time, all right? So it's this time in or having to do with age, whatever it is, right? They could be very, very helpful to you right now, having to do with a situation in your career or even a situation that's going on having to do with your marriage, okay? So that's the astrology part for you guys, and let's get into some crowning energies. We have the North Node destiny. I love it. So there's something that you're going to be learning. Whenever the North Node passes and triggers any sort of energies in our chart, it's always about something that there's a purpose for it, something that's very destiny driven, and that it's going to end up being a good thing. It's something coming to fruition for you. So really nice energy there. I do like it. And then let's just pull Wisdom of the Oracle, and then we'll get into the career Celtic cross spread. Come to the edge. Beautiful energy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I mean, this really is, come to the edge means if you're scared, go towards the fear, whatever it is that you are afraid of. Now, this can have to do with career, or it can have to do with relationship. Something is very destiny driven, either having to do with relationship or career, because this is for both readings. And we have Capricorn, which is the 10th house energy, right? And we have the 5th house, beautiful. 5th house has to do with creativity, romance, falling in love, love affairs, children. It could even have to do with children. Right? And then we have Venus here. Okay. So, beautiful energy. There's a softening energy. I feel like there's going to be a connection here between what it is that you feel very creative in, what it is that you want to do. And you're going to be in a space right now of working out the crux of an issue. You're in this space of putting your ducks in a row, figuring things out. Again, good energy, Mercury retrograde, to do all of that stuff. As long as it's something that you started before this energy started, it's really good. It allows clarity, actually, even though it was like, oh, it's everything's confusing because Mercury was retrograde. Mercury retrograde does not actually cause confusion. It can create, within our mind, even though Mercury is very mental, it's more about our ability, because we're so introspective, our ability to communicate as effectively as we would like to, or as effectively as we think we are. So we just need to take it slower, right? And just be a little more deliberate in what it is that we do. So let's pull energies for career. Okay. We have the Ace of Wands in the recent past. So the Ace of Wands can indicate like a new project that you had going. Because this isn't only for career, guys. This is for any money situation that you might have going on. So this could have to do with a lawsuit, an inheritance, some sort of payout, anything like that. All right. So let's see what we have here. Coming into this energy, really not. I mean, this is, feeling very motivating and inspired, urge to create, urge to do, get out there, feel passionate, but it's new, something new. So you might just be having this real fire in your belly to just break out and do something new and different. If you're very terribly bored in what it is that you're doing, or you're not feeling satisfied for whatever reason. But let's see what's going on right now. So right now we have the Nine of Swords, right, is the situation, which is some anxiety and depression regarding something having to do with work. And it's as you are, the Nine of Swords is very a ruminating energy. It's ruminating thought, right? And why I think this card is kind of funny, I laugh because you see how it's got the eyes, it's like the eyes of protection, right? Those of you who are like Greek or of that type of any sort of, I think everyone in the Mediterranean understands the eye. It's the eye of protection, right? I always think that like it's Mars energy there, because this card is a Mars and Gemini energy. So Gemini being air, that's where the swords come in, right? And then Mars is like all about, are you where you're supposed to be in your life, Taurus? Is this the right thing for you? Are you sure? Where are you really supposed to be? And it's like all of these eyes looking at you saying, are you sure? And that can create like an anxiety and a depression if you honestly feel like you're not. Like if you're just not really feeling satisfied. Now that's working with the Six of Pentacles. So I consider this a compliment. This is a giving and receiving help. This is a card of generosity. Now, if you are experiencing where it's crossing you, you could be very worried about someone needing your help financially, or you needing somebody else's help financially right now. And this could be a concern for you. If it's complimenting you, it means that you're very concerned about something having to do with work, and somebody is actually helping you out right now. We have the Knight of Pentacles as the crowning energy, which is a very reliable person. This is exercising a lot of patience, putting in a lot of hard work. Now, because it's a knight, this could be a person or a general energetic influence. So you might be in a space where you're feeling like, all right, I'm ready to do what I have to do. I'm patient. I'm ready to work hard and do what I have to do. But this could also indicate somebody offering you something that is going to require patience and hard work, but it's really good nonetheless. Now we have the Knight of Swords as the foundation energy. And this is a bit of a messy energy, I'm not going to lie. Like the Knight of Wands is a very sort of somebody coming in, creating a lot of chaos and havoc, a lot of upheaval, and then leaving the situation, taking no responsibility for what's gone on. So this can show up a couple of different ways having to do with career. This can be indicative of like an unstable coworker, colleague, boss, somebody just kind of blowing a gasket and saying, that's it, you're fired, or we can't do this anymore, or there being this significant change. So there's this big change having to do with whatever is going on in work. And it kind of comes out of nowhere though, and it's not comfortable. And in their mind, they're speaking the truth. Now, this could certainly, because it's a night, it could be somebody coming in and doing this, or it could certainly just be the general energetic influence of things just feeling, really upside down right now in your career and what it is that you're doing. It's sort of very chaotic, but there can't be any one sort of reason pointed at if it's just a general influence. For example, like COVID, who are you going to blame for that? It's like, I don't want to get into like the reality of that, but you know what I mean, like how it's playing out in our economy right now. It is what it is, kind of thing, right? And so it could be that, but it doesn't, anything like that, that's going to be creating a lot of havoc there right now. Yeah, because right now you're the hangman. So the hangman it's a confusing energy. It's a Neptune energy. Neptune rules Pisces, which is that 12th house of, there's a lot of confusion here. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lack of clarity. It's this energy of waiting, trying to get a different perspective, feeling like something needs to be sacrificed, or that you've had to sacrifice something. So things just may seem really unclear with work right now. If so, just hold back on signing any contracts or dealing with any legal matters, because things may be going on that you're not yet aware of, but you intuitively vibe. So you may experience some delays, but ultimately you are protected in this energy, which is good. Seems like a lot of wacky stuff could be going on there that you aren't expecting. Now, an external energy that's going to be influencing you is the fabulous Ten of Cups. This is so great because this is about being very supported. You're getting support from somebody. Support is coming in. Real, like total support, good intention, really good stuff here. What your fear is your hope and your fear, right? We have the Four of Swords energy here. So Four of Swords is about like pressing the pause button, but you're afraid of this. Retreating, right? Going into solitude to figure out what's fair, what's not fair, and what it is that you really want. You're kind of afraid to do that. You don't want to take a break and work. You really don't want to look at anything too closely. You really don't, because I feel like you're afraid that you may not ultimately end up liking what you find. Then we have the Seven of Swords energy in the near future, which is all about theft and betrayal and dishonesty and running away from something. So this could certainly be indicative of maybe somebody promised something that they ended up not having a follow through. They said that a position was going to be X, Y, and Z, and that's not how it went. They said that the lawsuit was going to go a certain way, or somebody maybe promised you something, and then when it came time to solidify something or pay something forward or whatever, they weren't there to show up. Running away from the commitment, running away from something. So any sort of financial agreement or situation, you could be dealing with this in. This could also be indicative of somebody trying to play you at your own game. Now you might be doing that, Taurus, and what that would look like if it manifests as that for you is, I like to give the example of, let's say you're getting a divorce. And part of the divorce, obviously, is going to be some sort of financial figuring out, right? You playing your partner at their own game and just not giving away your strategy, what's on your mind regarding this, just, trying to keep, everything kind of copacetic and steady while things sort of, are figured out behind the scenes. They could also be doing this to you. So that is also how this could be showing up. And that could really actually be the same thing for any kind of lawsuit, quite frankly, okay, if you're here with that on your heart. Now, the final outcome is the King of Swords, which is about taking emotions completely out of it and being very intentional and strategic in how you handle something. Recognizing that in order for something to come to an end, come into fruition, to be what it needs to be, emotions are probably not going to be helpful here. And it's more about strategizing and being very strategic. So, more having to do with that. But, the king is, you have to take a chance in doing that as well. But I feel you have to come to the edge here. Something's very destiny driven here. But this is about a journey. You're definitely on a journey here. You're definitely on a journey. So there's a lot of energy. Just know, there's a lot of energy in your 10th house right now, Taurus. It's going to be hanging out there. You're going to have a lot going on there for the next 2 years. It's not bad. It's actually really good. So if you're understanding this as anything other than that, just understand that nothing can just be unicorns and butterflies all the time. You're going to be growing, and whenever we have growth, there's always periods of discomfort in the middle of it. So you really have to just understand it from that perspective. Glass half full, right? See what's going on in relationship. Taurus friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. General messages. Let's see what comes out. Okay, so this is one of those spreads where I want to say, if it does not resonate with you, don't try to make it fit. This is a general message on a major platform with people, for people of all different ages and stages. So if it's not your energy that I captured this week, maybe I get you next time, okay? We're starting coming into this energy with the 10 of Cups in reverse. So the 10 of Cups in reverse can indicate family trouble. For some of you, empty nest syndrome, right? Where you're really sad because maybe your children left. But this could also indicate a broken marriage, a broken relationship. Now we have this working with the 7 of Coins in the reverse. We have a lot of reversals here, which is very unusual to get this many. Those of you who watch me now, I do read reversals, but I don't manipulate my cards. How they're meant to come out, I let Spirit pick for me, right? So we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and this is indicative of giving up too soon, putting work into a relationship that you feel like you're just not receiving a reward for it, right? So you may be dealing with an energy who's maybe just not very motivated in the relationship. For lack of a better term, maybe they're a little lazy in the relationship, or maybe you are, right? The energies can always work like that, because this is just the situation right now. Now we have this working with the Ace of Cups. It's also reversed, which is being let down and feeling very disappointed about something. So there's certainly, from the recent past and the current situation, it does seem like something disappointing went on in relationship. So let's get some more information here. So we have this working with the Justice in the reverse, which is about dishonesty and unfairness, and this could indicate a lawsuit. Or this could even indicate legal problems, even outside the marriage, that could be impacting the marriage, could be anything like that. We have this working with the 5 of Wands in the reverse. So the 5 of Wands in the reverse is much more positive. This is about harmony and success and problems being resolved here. So initially you're in this space of disappointment, but there is, as a foundation, this desire, at least, for resolution. But you right now, you're experiencing the 5 of Coins energy, right? The upright. And 5 of Coins is about, it's worry. First of all, you may be super worried about money, right? So it could be that idea. Feeling very isolated, worried about money. If it has nothing to do with money, it's just you not feeling very connected to a person, right, that you've been dealing with. And it's making you feel worried. But you could be worried about money as well. Pentacles means money or a mental, emotional, physical connection. Now, the energy that is external to you, that's impacting you, we have the King of Wands. And this is somebody who is very passionate, very motivated, right? Because it's a Leo, in astrology, it's a Cancer and Leo energy. So Cancer is all about home. Leo's all about children. Some of you are going to be relate to it like that. So the external energy that's impacting you is the idea of your home and your children and what's right for them. Okay? Speak King of Wands energy. That's one interpretation. Others of you can be dealing with an actual person who you live with, who you have children with. So this could be indicative of a partner, obviously. And something that's going on with them is impacting you. Now, it does seem like somebody wants something to work. You know, even though it seems like it's not working. It seems like they're not ready to give up. But you're feeling this disconnect from them. You're feeling this worry about them, worry about the situation with them. In your hope and your fear, we have the Page of Swords reverse. So the Page of Swords reverse is a very, well, first of all, this could just be you're afraid of bad news coming in, right? Legal, when you sort of like bad legal news coming in, because the page does bring like legal news. You're also afraid of feeling very weak right now regarding a certain energy. So you like in your mind, you could put everything in a row and everything makes sense to you in your mind and your intention. But then it's the kind of thing where you stop to think about something, you're afraid of where you might actually begin to feel weak regarding the situation. Because it's part of the human condition. Don't beat yourself up. You're also afraid of dishonesty going on here as well, because the page, whenever we get sword energy in the reverse, there's always this element of manipulation and a lack of honesty mixed in there. So we have the near future, we have the devil energy. So the devil is not an easy energy to deal with. It's all about imbalance. And when it comes to relationship, this is a difficult relationship is definitely indicated, such as like maybe you have a controlling partner, or maybe there's like a lust over love kind of situation, affair. This could have to do with codependent partner, anything like that, or patterns even for yourself. If for separated partners, the devil makes you a financial dependent or other ongoing money or property issues keep you tied to the past. Even though you may not really feel like together, but you have to stick around in that situation because of that, which is, I'd imagine not fun. And then we have the Three of Coins in the reverse. And, this is just like a very lack of support kind of energy, like there's no teamwork here, no support. There's a lot of dealing with like nonsense politics, somebody not showing up and just doing the right thing. Taurus, I'm sorry. If you're resonating with this, I'm sorry. Then now I think the come to the edge for this reading does indicate if you're scared to do something with this relationship, do it anyway. Do it scared. Do it scared. Yeah. Yeah, we have Mars, Capricorn, and the 5th house too with the Astro dice. So this can indicate some challenges in the romance area having to do with your children, something to do with that. But Mars is pressuring. There's a lot of pressure here. Necessary North Node pressure that's going on here. Very destiny driven. Love, not today. The Chaser, soulmates. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I know. We have love, unconditional love. Self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. Then we have not today. Not dealing with hurt, avoiding a conversation, a call, a person, boundaries, still angry. Chaser, a chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. And then we have soulmates, soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. Okay? So Taurus, if this does not resonate with you, please be sure to check your rising sign, your moon sign and your Venus sign. These are general messages. I don't know what else is in your chart or what your other placements are, because you're certainly not all Taurus. So I hope this was helpful in some way, and hugs, hugs, hugs to those of you who this resonates with. You guys take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.